And here with us today is Biorock Board of Expert and also co-founder, Ricky Soerapoetra. Hi, Ms. Ricky. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome, Mas Ricky.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just have a seat.
Have a good seat. Thank you for your time.
Yes.
Okay, so this is very interesting. You know, during the commercial break, the cruise talked about by biodiversity, about the coral reefs here,
Yes.
about the Biorock itself here in the studio. And people, some people are really actually having this thoughts that this ecosystem is in the sea, right? It is very, very important, and then therefore it can actually support our lives as humans, right? Now, before we go into a deeper conversation, we want to know, or you can enlighten us more about the functions of the coral reefs, in the sea itself. How important is it?
Oh, it's very important actually, and it is one of the core. I could say co-living partner of human. And if I ask you both, maybe what do you actually benefit from the sea daily, like this morning?
There's a lot.
Right?
From the
like
source
from
of
the salt
food
itself,
exactly,
from the oxygen that they produce.
Yes.
And then eventually our island here in Indonesia, it's all islands, and it also construct from the coral reef. So it's very important actually for the long term and to keep it sustainable.
Right.
Because we have to co-living with the reef and the ocean. So it's very important for our health. Nowadays we speak a lot of health. So it's very important also for our food security is very important. And our living security, the island itself, is very important.
Yes. Since we are living in a country which has a lot of islands, and I think the biggest archipelago in the world. So we as Indonesian has to really understand the impact of the excess of coral reefs and the ocean itself. So, Mas Ricky, please enlighten us with the information. How big is the impact of the coral reefs on our environment?
With our environment?
Yes.
So I mean, like, especially in Indonesia, we have, in the world, I think we have around 800 species here.
Wow, 800?
But in Indonesia, we have 569 species out of 800 something.
Oh, wow.
So we
So
hold
more than 50% here.
Of course, it's almost 80 or
so that's why
75, around 80,
so the world actually sees that Indonesia holds one of the biggest biodiversity of coral reef. So yes, I always speak to, when I go to schools, to primary school, to speak about coral reef. And also when I actually ask people to see the ocean, I want them to go to the ocean and see the reef and see them as part of us actually. Because as we know, coral reef is not is an animal. So animal has their own rights. Like human rights, animal have their own rights. Okay? So I believe the important to understand that coral reef is actually a living things that we have to protect, we have to live together, to understand them, because we need them actually.
Of course.
And as a human, I think we have to understand other living things in this planet, such as coral reef.
Yes, that is so true, and such a eye-opener to know that yes, coral reefs is a living things.
Yes, it is an animal.
Human being has their rights and animals as well. What about the coral reefs? Something that we don't see it every day, right? Because it's under the sea.
Yes.
There you go. Turns out it has its own right? Now, still speaking about the coral reef, in your point of view, Ms. Ricky, is it true that coral reef itself actually covers 67% of the world's reef species?
Yes, it's true, like I said in the beginning. We have 569 species in Indonesia,
70, right.
800 something in the world. Yeah. So yes, it is true. It is true and very important. Even though that coral reef, they live on the sideline of the island or in the coastal area,
Yes.
or maybe in under we call it pinnacle area, which is under the water.
Yeah.
Yes, it does really important. I mean, it's the home for the fishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the juvenile fishes, or we call it the baby fish.
Yeah.
It's actually their home.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a lot of rare species that live in the coral reef also.
Wow.
They eat there, they sleep there.
Yeah.
Have you seen a fish?
Never, but I always wondering. But I have that aquarium at home.
Oh, they won't sleep.
And then yes, I watch the fish, and how do they sleep?
No,
Sometimes I'm looking for the small fish, like they hide at the back of the fake reefs, of course.
Right.
But I think how they sleep, and they look for quiet places to have rest. So, Mas Ricky, since you mentioned that Indonesia has the biggest population of coral reefs here, how is the situation of coral reefs in Indonesia from the past or in the present moment?
All right. So this is where we start.
All right. How is the situation?
I think the situation, I cannot say is in emergency, yeah, but we have to put a lot of urgent mindset to see this as part of the world.
Right.
As you know, Indonesia is the biggest archipelagic country, which is surrounded by other countries, which is like Philippines and Southeast Asia country. Yeah. We kind of like connected. The reef is like connected between this country. Yeah. So yes, we have a special issue in Indonesia of understanding what is coral reef. I think I remember when I was back in the 80s, I was in the primary school in Indonesia. I didn't know about I don't consider myself I'm an island person.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So if you see the maps of Indonesia, there is all the maps says island.
Exactly.
So we are actually islander.
Islander,
Yes.
exactly.
All right. So you're from the island, and you're also from the island.
Yes.
So we have to understand, if you live in the island, who do you live with there?
Oh.
You live with the fish, you live with the corals, you live with the mangroves.
All the creatures, right?
All the creatures.
Right.
We need to give more understanding. I mean, what we did is actually to give awareness what is coral reef and what is the important, and what actually the challenge of the coral reef in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could say the biggest challenge is the climate change.
Yeah, that's sadly.
And also human
behavior.
Right. Industry behavior, things like that.
Oh, wow.
So since you and you mentioned it is very important, and we want to know in your point of view and also in your team's point of view from the Biorock itself, what needs to be fixed? What needs to be done as a whole, as human can actually do so?
First, understand that salt coming from the ocean.
From the ocean. We cannot live without salt.
And after that, some of our medicine is coming out from the reef.
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
So hopefully parents, teachers back home and in school could tell more about coral reef, tell more about the ocean. Discover more about the ocean in us.
Yes.
That's very important. Hopefully the government can have a special model
Of course.
of the ocean,
Right.
starting from the primary school. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's really important.
Starting
to
from
Yes.
such an early age. But
Exactly.
elaborate with us more about, Biorock. What does it mean, and what does it do to, actually save this, what do you call that, coral reefs, and also the livings in the sea itself?
Yeah, so it's correlate with the education that I mentioned. First, what we do is the science bit. Yeah. Without science, without research, without trying out, without data mining and everything, we cannot have this development. Second is actually the communities. We work with the communities, the villages, the local communities.
How do you reach to the communities? How do you actually like get that their attention, their trust to actually work with you together?
I could say, well, it's all about the social economy issues. When we see fishes are degrading, less fish close to the shore, then we see a little bit of problem, and then both us and the community try to find out what's the problem of the fish. And then we found out that there's a huge coral reef destroyed. So yes, and then to make them understand that we are co-living with the coral reef.
So yes, I think from your explanation, the lack of understanding, lack of knowledge about the coral reefs itself, it makes some part or some country or some people regarding considering that coral reefs are often underestimated by the majority living in the archipelagic state, countries such as the United States. Because of that, how do you say about that?
Yes, I could say that. If you see this in the field, you will see people like walking on top of the coral reef. Because they think it's a rock.
Yes. Oh my God, I see it often in social media.
It's not part of the ecosystem. Yes, it grows back, but it will take a long time to do so.
Because people will hurt the coral reefs, right? It will destroy it.
Yes, and some people also, when they do snorkeling, they touch the coral reef.
Oh, I don't do it.
You don't. We hope.
No, we didn't.
A lot of people in Indonesia, they go outside, do the outdoor sports and all that. Please don't touch it.
Of course, they think, oh, it's pretty. I don't get this chance often. Pick one, and then you destroy the whole lot, right?
Oh my God.
So when it's destroyed, the corals are destroyed. Obviously, you said that it will be a very big impact to the ecosystem in the sea itself, and not just in the sea. It will eventually give impact
in the planet,
to the people around the sea itself, right? Now, obviously, you and your team are actually trying to help big times for this, to rejuvenate the coral reefs itself with, the Biorock. So how many Biorock have you and your team planted or regained new Biorock across Indonesia itself?
All right, so we have 16 sites. One of the famous one is in West Bali, in Pemutaran village. We have in Maluku, in Ambon, for research base. We collaborate with the state-owned company in Indonesia. One of the latest one is in Nusa Dua, also in Bali. Is 1 hectare size of
1 hectare.
Yes, of gardens. We have also in Lampung. Wakatobi, a lot of locations. 16.
Okay, so people may still, have big questions mark. What is this Biorock? How does it look like?
Yes,
that is the Biorock.
There you go. We have the Biorock here. Tell us more.
So this is Biorock.
Right.
You can hold it.
This one is okay to be touched, right?
Yeah, actually, it's a rock, right? So
it's a rock.
So it's a solid rock. So as you know, bio is living, process of living.
Right.
And then rock is actually a rock.
Right.
It's actually how we create rocks under the sea.
How do you create rocks under the sea? That would be my question.
Exactly. And please,
how long does it take? What is the process? What do you need to do?
Right.
All right. So it's kind of like a long process. First, it's actually we call it a mineral accretion process.
Oh, okay.
So if you see here, maybe
like
this black thing over here is actually it's a metal.
Is it okay?
So it's actually a standard metal for construction.
Okay.
And then we use the technology with the help of the sun.
Okay.
We with energy, with electricity, DC electricity, which is very safe for animals, for us also.
Right.
It will create some sort like a process that will observe or
it's like inviting. Oh, I see.
Inviting nutrition, inviting the silt, like you know those the dirt. Yeah, it helps also cleans the ocean a little bit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it forms into a calcium.
It's like a filter, right?
Yeah, it will.
You invite in.
Yes, it's actually it will attract and then it will form a rock.
Cool.
So from this mineral that you spoke, and then it needs time and help from the sun, yada yada, and then it will be turned or form into a solid rock like this one, which is a positive rock, right?
Yeah.
So how long, in your point of view, will it take the rock to actually be, you know, it can actually positively help others?
Yes. Well, I could say in a few hours.
Just within a few hours?
It's not going to be this big.
Yeah.
But the process is actually making the environment surrounding the structures or the technology that we put underwater. Let's say this is the structure.
Right.
When we actually get the help from the sun or it forms into electricity, and the technology will be inducted through the structures.
Okay.
Oh, directly?
Directly.
Oh, wow.
It will actually give a comfortable zone for the living thing there.
Oh.
It will. The structure will actually create a chemical magnetic process.
Yeah.
Starting to observe the silt, the nutrition into the
metals.
The metals.
Okay.
So the rock that I hold here is actually just a piece of it.
Yeah.
It's around 10 years.
Wow.
This is small, but actually the structure is like like a quarter big as this studio.
Really?
Oh, wow.
It's big. It's big. Actually, yes. This is actually just for.
Effort, but it's worth it. Of course.
Yeah, basically what we did is when the rock is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the possibility of the coral.
Yeah.
Love the house that we built.
Yeah.
Will stay there.
Oh, that's lovely and very kind.
So that's the main thing to create something so the reef can actually live in our structure.
You're creating like a new home for the
There you go. So I was about to say
creatures.
that,
Amazing.
Creating a new, a new house for them.
Exactly.
So what's the next step after you've put this Biorock there?
Okay.
It works, and do you need to like keep an eye or evaluate every 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, maybe?
Every day.
Okay.
Wow. Like he said, it's a lifetime.
Yes.
It's a lifetime
activity and journey.
It's a full-time job.
Exactly.
It's a full-time job. I mean, it's an opportunity also for our children to be one of the workers also, and also there's a lot of things need to be monitored to maintain. Yeah, you have to maintain your solar panel, your electricity that goes to the structure.
Yes.
And then you have to maintain the ocean when is the heat's coming up or goes down.
So like everything.
As you know, right? The sea are warming. The globe is warming. Right?
Yes.
So yeah, we have to maintain, and then we have to see whether the accretion of the mineral is according to the standards. If it's not, we need to maintain something.
Wow.
And the reef, what kind of reef that actually we transplant? There's two things. One that we actually plant the coral reef into the structures.
Yes.
And the other one is actually natural recruitment.
Yes.
So so we see what we do is actually brushing the structures.
Right.
We see the fishes.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of like enjoy the underwater world.
Wow.
While working. Yeah.
So Mas Ricky is really interesting, and it makes me, it makes me wondering more. How can we contribute to preserving the coral reef conservation in Indonesia?
Yes.
With the Biorock Indonesia?
First, I think we can contribute from home. Less plastic.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's before we go into the conservation support.
Start small.
Let's start conserve ourselves first.
Yes.
So we try to we manage our waste, please, and also, as you know, the more waste that goes to the ocean, not only a solid waste, also like the domestic waste, is gonna ruin the coral reef.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like we have to understand when alga is blooming, that means the reef will start dying. Yeah, it has to have balance, yin and yang.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So since that support is needed, so actually, you could start donating to start making fundraising.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, fundraising.
Where can people actually fundraise or donate if they want to help this Biorock Indonesia?
You can go directly to our website, actually.
Right.
Go to biorock-indonesia.com. You could actually use PayPal or other method of cashless.
Yes.
We actually provide like adopt a coral. Yeah, so in Bali you adopt like 450,000 corals for 2 years. So you have your own babies.
Oh, baby coral, that's lovely.
And it's reported every year, the progress and everything. If you are actually wanted a bigger scale, like a corporate or something, or a government, like what we normally do is actually we collaborate with the corporate for CSR programs. Yeah, as needed. Yes, of course, we need a lot of the support. We have a lot of friends also around the world. That's supporting us. But the most important is actually I want to say here is from the family itself. So it's also good to adopt another baby from one family.
Of course.
It starts from our home to others' home.
Yes,
There you go. That's a good one.
Yeah, it will eventually it will come to your plate.
Exactly, from us, for us as well.
Yes.
So we have to be very mindful about our activity because what we do probably impacting to others' life.
Of course.
Of course, especially if you eat fish.
Exactly.
You want to have this fish live in a healthy world.
Right.
And then it's going to be on your plate.
Okay.
So it depends on you, people. It depends on you.
Depends on us. That's very good. And obviously what you said is all true. So thank you so very much, Mas Ricky,
You're welcome.
for the insight and for the information. And obviously, small baby steps will actually help to make a big change.
Yes.
Not just here for us, humans, but also, creatures in the sea itself. Thank you so very much, Mas Ricky, for the talk
welcome.
today.
Thank you so much, Mas.
Keep supporting the
Of
corals.
course.
Amen.
And take care.